Hello and welcome to your astrological vibrations for Wednesday, December 25th, 2019 by Gaia Blooming. I am Mimi and our energy mantra for today is I attune to the purpose behind my breakthrough. And today, Merry Christmas if you celebrate. Happy new moon. Happy solar eclipse, and happy Revolution Evolution Day. Oh my goodness, this is some really intense astro. And I gotta tell you, between the Sabian symbol, the cards, and the other card that I have, this is definitely a portal that we're meant to go through that is bringing us into some new dimensional energy, some hopefully good rebirths, restarts, but, you know, eclipses always bring a lot of change and a lot of intensity. So let's dig into this astro. The first thing I want to say is if you are celebrating Christmas and are a little bit worried about this energy, well, yeah, there is that. I think sometimes the building to the eclipse can almost be more intense than the moment itself. That being said, our new moon and eclipse, it doesn't reach its peak till 9:13 p.m. Pacific time. So during the day, it may be actually a little bit quiet. In fact, we have a void moon for a large portion of the day. Moon is staying in Sagittarius in the morning and will shift into Capricorn 1:54 p.m. Pacific time. So that's 4:54 p.m. Pacific time to give you an idea. So it's almost 5 o'clock in the evening. So I like that. Moon in Sagittarius for the festivities. I mean, if a sign knows how to party, it's definitely Sagittarius energy. So hopefully that'll bring some enjoyment. Moon conjunct Mercury is happening early in the day. So both those energies are hanging out in Sagittarius. I would say, barring political or religious conversations, this could be a time of open philosophical sharing. So hopefully we're holding space for that. And then we have that moon shift, lunar shift, into Capricorn. Now, let's talk a little bit about this. This eclipse in Capricorn. Eclipses bring change. New moons bring new beginnings. I love just even the image of this eclipse. An annular, hope I'm saying that right, an annular, being laughed at, annular, one last time, solar eclipse, which means there's a ring of fire. The moon is a little bit smaller than the sun because of where it is in the sky. It's always smaller, but this perspective. And so there's this ring of fire, which means we're looking at that dark. You know, there's darkness to be faced, and yet there's this portal of fire, this portal of transformation energy that's right there, helping transform these shadows that are up. So that's really interesting. This eclipse, while it's not exactly with the south node, it is near the south node energy. We have Jupiter nearing the south node. In fact, the next eclipse will have Jupiter on the south node. And so we're being reminded of that south node energy, that we don't have to remake the same mistakes that we've been making. We can get off the hamster wheel that's keeping us stuck in this pattern. So this is a really good time. What patterns in your life have become a structure that you're stuck on top of that is no longer serving your life? This energy is bringing a lot of change. And we can look at it. You know, there's so many different levels to it. Capricorn is the sign of structure, rules, tradition. Well, holy cow, this is happening on what is traditionally a widespread celebrated holiday. So it's interesting that we're being called to maybe check in with our traditions, check in with what has been, and see, how does it resonate with who you are now? How does it resonate with your true purpose-aligned self? All right, so let's keep going into this eclipse energy. I love to look at the energies that the moon connects with on the way to this. So before reaching the eclipse point, before we have that new moon energy, the moon in Capricorn will connect with Chiron. We have a Chiron square. So there's healing around the self, and squaring that energy of the structures, of tradition, of the shoulds. So this is a day, like, notice, are you getting caught up in shoulds? Are you getting caught up in family traditions that don't serve you, don't match? Are you getting caught up in anything that's not serving you? How can you be true to yourself? That Uranus energy is like, know your worth, know your gifts, and it's okay. It's okay to allow these changes. So Moon trine Uranus, those changes are very much supported. Uranus is like, you can liberate yourself. Now I love that's at 2 degrees. 2 degrees is that nurturing degree. You're going to have to nurture yourself. You're going to have to be the kind parent to yourself and be like, it's okay. Gotta tell you, I wrapped one holiday present this season, and part of me is like, nah, and the other part of me is like, oh well, I have to. There's just too much going on right now. So I have to be good to myself. I have to nurture myself. Where can you liberate yourself? And keep in mind, this eclipse degree, 4 degrees, it is that revolution, evolution degree. That 4-degree energy, if you're not ready to make the shifts, if you're not ready to liberate yourself, a lot of times that Uranus energy will come in and push some buttons, cause some triggers that can lead to that breakdown, breakthrough. So just keep that in mind. Know your worth, nurture yourself through this energy. We then reach the pinnacle of this eclipse. Let's look at the Sabian symbol. So the Sabian symbol for 4 degrees Capricorn is a group of people outfitting a large canoe at the start of a journey by water. And the keynote is just the ability to use natural resources and basic skills in order to achieve a group purpose. But I think it's really interesting. Like this year, it's definitely, if this journey is on water this year, we're going to have times where it's like nice. And then we're going to have some times where we're whitewater rafting. Right now, like we're just starting it off, whitewater rafting. So keep that in mind. But how are you working this energy? And how are you working with those who are working with you? Like to keep your canoe upright. But I love the beginning of a journey. A new journey. This is definitely, even as this is the last major lunar event of this year, and we're completing this year, this is kicking off, a 6-month period until we reach the full moon in Capricorn, another eclipse, in the summer. So do keep this in mind. What are the changes over the next 6 months that you'd like to make in order to kick off this new journey? I also love that Jupiter is a part of this energy. So Jupiter brings buoyancy. Jupiter brings good luck. Jupiter brings expansion. So wherever you're at during the day, whether it's this or this, Jupiter could definitely expand that energy. Jupiter at 5 degrees, is like, we can change. If you're here, you can go here. If you're here, you can go there. So, be vigilant. But I think all of us are going to have some level of emotional energy going on. And I do have to say, Capricorn will try so hard to be stoic. You don't need to be stoic. It's okay that you're human. It's okay that you have emotions. It's okay that you feel things deeply, and give yourself the time and space that you need to feel that, to process that. So I love, like I said, that lunar energy right after the eclipse, it's meeting up with Jupiter, and Jupiter's like, I promise you, there's really good things ahead for you. There's really good things ahead for you. Keep celebrating. Keep reaching for that good. Remember those lessons of Sagittarius. Keep holding your light, bringing out your light in this energy. There is a lot of change, yes. There's a lot of potential fear around the shifting of the structures. This eclipse is taking us into the eclipse portal, to our next eclipse, and straight through into this Saturn-Pluto conjunction, which has, I feel like, a lot of power to take down what needs to be taken down in our world. So be aware of that, and be aware of how you're contributing to building the new, even as there's energies falling down, falling apart right now, in and through this energy. Hold the light in yourself, and even the light in the world. I also have these 2 cards, which I think are very necessary and good to remind yourself. My Be Here Now card, which I pulled the Fool and the Be Here Now card actually in my Patreon group earlier for this. So be here now. Be present. And again, if you need to take some leave of the people that you're around, to be present with yourself, to fully feel what you're feeling, please nurture yourself enough to do that. And the patience card. I think the patience card is important, to have patience with everybody else around you. Again, this doesn't mean that you don't speak your truth, that you're not authentic, but do realize that everybody's feeling and potentially struggling with these energies to some level or not another. You know, eclipses, they are intense. Even new moons and full moons, they're intense in their own right. When we add an eclipse to it, it just really ups the ante. So just keep that in mind. That being said, I want to read this card because this is really perfect. So, the initiation from Work Your Light. Rite of passage. You're going somewhere sacred. There is a temple in India that looks terrifying from the outside, but inside it is filled with jewels and is one of the most loving places imaginable. This represents the journey that the soul pilgrim is required to take to reach somewhere sacred. But only the initiated can enter. Perhaps that's where you are right now. You are being tested, initiated because you're headed somewhere sacred. Initiations require that we cross the threshold from one world or state of being to the next. We are called to face what scares us and have to be willing to lose it all in order to gain a new way of being, of safety, of security, of depth, and of meaning. Initiations, like rites of passage, mark the shift from one age to the next, and can take place because of emotional turmoil, great loss, grief, or devastation. But it is through the seeming hardship that our heart cracks open and our spirit is invested to step forward. We take the sacred voyage into more of who we are, and who we came here to be. It can be painful and scary, but once we begin the journey, we can be more ourselves than ever before. This is a big piece of it. To be true to ourselves, be true to that purpose energy, to be true to our light, and even be real within our shadows, you know? If you are in the middle of initiation right now, which we all are to some extent, if you are in the middle of initiation right now, you will get through it. And one day soon, you will bless the thing that broke you down and cracked you open, because the world needs you open. You are going somewhere sacred. It will be worth it, and you're closer than you think. Work your light action. You're going somewhere sacred. Let it crack you open. And I would say that for this eclipse. Let it crack you open. You don't have to be stoic. You don't have to maintain these foundations that have been crumbling and need to crumble. You will build again whatever is falling apart, and it will be more authentic in integrity. We talked about that integrity energy earlier this week. It will be within your personal integrity. So I think that's good for today. Happy eclipsing, happy holidays, whatever you are celebrating. You can book a reading with me, email me for that. Besides that, the better it gets, the better it gets. There's more than enough love in the world for you, and you do have the power. Oh, take it moment by moment. Namaste.